Ooh, I tell you, I'm mad. Camera died. I was almost done with that video. Man. Ooh. So I got to start this all over again. The topic of today's discussion, I don't have a topic. Just like with the last video that will never hit the air, I didn't have a topic. Hadn't thought of one yet because I wanted to hurry up and get this out because I just got done discussing this with somebody. Now I'm just going to say, was talking to somebody, I'm going to leave it at that, was talking to somebody, and one of the things that I've said in previous videos, and you know that I always state on here, you'll never hear me explicitly say that you should sever a relationship, cut ties, because relationships are too delicate. And I'm telling you, I'm just, I'm seething with anger with that video cutting off here. I'll never say that you should explicitly cut people off, but having toxic things taken out of your circle it's a whole different ball game. And one of the reasons why you won't hear me say that because I'm talking to you all generally, and like I said before, relationships are delicate, so it's a lot that goes into it. That's up to you. But one of the things that I've said in my book, and I think I've said it on the channel, I'm pretty sure I have, is that I will keep dialing things back in a relationship that it is difficult. I'll keep dialing things back to try to get a healthy response, or to keep things. Well, not that I'm losing my train of thought. It was a particular way that I presented this in that other video. That's why it's making me so mad with cutting this off. It was started with an F, with the word that I was wanting to say. Not foreseeable. I don't remember. But anyways, in dealing with the relationship, oh, that's the word. I'll keep dialing things back to where it's not a forbearance on either you or me in the relationship, because I want it to be healthy and upbuilding, right? But since I can only control what I can control up off in the relationship, and you gonna do what you want to do, I got to keep it in the realm of what I can control, right, without coming out of character. So when I was talking to this person on this other difficult person that they was dealing with, I had likened the situation to when I take my walks. When I take my walk, or I'm riding my bike, it's something healthy. It's something I'm doing for me, right? Trying to get that heart rate up, trying to get that blood pumping, right? Nothing burns me up more than for me to pass through a spider web. The reason why it's really agitating, as you would know, when you pass through a spider web, what is one of the first things that you're doing besides being hit with the shock that you just went through a spider web? First thing I'm doing is I'm checking to see if the spider is there, because I don't want to get bit. Remember, I'm caught off guard. It's some spiders that walk this earth that can take you out of here, cause you to lose a limb or something. So I want to make sure the spider's not on me. The next thing that I'm doing is I'm trying to clear myself of the webs from my face, my arms. I'm trying to get out of the grasp of this, right? I don't want them coming back. Plus, I just don't want no spider webs on me, right? So I liken it to dealing with the person that's toxic or venomous. What good comes from that? Besides having some lifelong scar, or it not take you up out of here, right? So I really prefer not to be dealing or, tiptoeing around or dealing with dangerous situations when I don't have to, right? Especially when I've already identified it as a bad, venomous situation. The other thing is, I might have to cut ties with some of those webs of things that'll get me drawn in, possibly be bit. Because that's how people do. People, they put these webs, these feelings out here, these feelers out here up for things. That's what a spider web does, right? Puts that web out there. Not only does it, sleep in it and it hosts its eggs and what have you, it puts that web out there so when something comes into its trap, here it comes the crawling. It's an ensnared you. And I don't want to be caught up. I'm serious up on this. I don't want to be caught up. So one of the things that I have to do when I deem somebody toxic. And for me to do that, I don't just go around slapping that label up on anybody. I'm really looking at you like, man, this is really in a bad way. I want to get out of the web of what you're doing. And by getting out of the web of what you're doing and what I'm thinking about, since this a lot of times it goes hand in hand when I'm thinking of a toxic person. They're putting those webs out there. They're trying to ensnare you. They're trying to, the word I was getting ready to say, I went off on that tangent. It was manipulative. They're trying to manipulate the situation. So they got their bases covered. Do you? I don't want to be trying to break free. I want to be free. I want to get back to doing that healthy thing that I was doing, whatever it may be. And in that metaphor, I was walking, remember? Or riding my bike. I was trying to do something better for me. I wasn't seeking out spiders, looking to crush them and tear them down from their webs. You're a spider. You got just as much right to be here as I do. Go do what it is that spiders do. That's it. I just wanted to take time out to make a video on this. I know that I've made a lot of other videos and talking about, toxic situations, how to remove yourself from them. But one of the reasons why I like to revisit things like this and shape them with new metaphors is because this person I was talking to, they were like, that was a really good, analogy that you'd used. And it allowed them to come to grips with it better because they had their own reasons for their dealings with this person. And they just kind of saw, like I said, it wasn't advice, wasn't telling them to stop doing on what they were doing, but I know the person as well. And one of the things that I had realized with this situation and some of the other potential situations on this person saying the reason why they kept dealings going with them, I'm like, man, do you recognize the things that you're talking about and some of the things I see is still them having that web out there. And it's going to get you caught up if you don't know how to deal with it appropriately. So, like I said, didn't say, because it wasn't any beating around the bush, and I didn't say that they had to explicitly stop contact with them or dealing with them or write them off. It's like it got suddenly dark all of a sudden. I didn't explicitly say any of that, but I had to make them aware of the situation, right? Excuse me, one of the things with being aware of the situation is knowing what you're caught up in. You got to be aware of what you're caught up in. You got to know the road that you're walking. One of the things I'll say, I'm going to go back to me with riding that bike or walking. One of the things that really takes me by surprise is being in a wide open area. It's not like I'm walking through a forest or I'm walking through a haunted house and I'm getting ensnared with these spider webs. It's a wide open area. In my mind, it should be clear. So when it catches me off guard and I got to stop to, inspect things, it's a hindrance. So it's the same thing or the same precautions I take when I'm looking at the relationships around me. What spider webs are around me? I'm not sitting up here trying to, while I'm in the web, well, let me see, this might not be that bad, and here, let me see if I can look this up on the phone, see what type of spider this is, and no, I'm taking instant reaction. Self-preservation. It's really up out of me, and I really don't even have all the energy to do, because like I said, this is like my second time doing this video. I don't even have it, like I said, slight aggravation on trying to make sure I covered the points that I had covered in that other video before that camera cut off. But I think you got the point. My name's Ayn. The topic of this video is whatever I label it. Stay encouraged, avoid being discouraged. Y'all have a good one.